two ends of what Donald Trump has been saying right there. But nonetheless, I want to bring in Cabot Phillips. He's from the Leadership Institute. We saw him during the RNC. He's here with us at 5 at 6:30. And Cabot, you're calling this a flip, but you also say this is one that's going to help pull in the undecideds.
That sound you hear off in the distance is Jeb Bush screaming that Donald Trump has stolen his immigration plan, and it's him complaining that he got bashed for it by Donald Trump.
Right.
This is absolutely a flip-flop. To go from this rhetoric of we're going to deport 11 million people, we're going to round them up with a deportation force, to now saying, well, you know, if they've been here, they're contributing to society, you know, we'll have a conversation about it, is a total flip-flop. But ultimately, I think it's a smart move. You've got, you know, Trump supporters are not going to be behind this, absolutely. But if they look at the fact that we need to beat Hillary Clinton, how are we going to beat Hillary Clinton? You're not going to do it by this hardline stance of deporting everyone who's here illegally.
Hey, Cabot, let me ask you, though, you know, today there were a lot of Trump surrogates who were out saying, no, he has not changed his mind. He is not flip-flopping. He's keeping with the same stance. But there are many say, we wanted to see this pivot more toward the middle. This is what was expected. How are we supposed to read between the lines of those two different messages going on?
The Trump campaign certainly has a special way of defending their man in a very interesting way. Katrina Pearson, his spokeswoman, came out today and said he's not changing his opinion, he's just changing the words that he's using, which is something that only the Trump campaign can get away with saying. But ultimately, I think you need to look at the fact that they're not making a play to Republicans. They're making a play to those people in the middle. You know, however many undecided voters there are left at this point, they're making a play to them. And with Leadership Institute's Campus Forum, I'm always talking to young people, especially on the streets, on campuses. And I was on multiple campuses today asking people how they felt. And there was a consensus. They said, regardless of my view of Donald Trump, this is a reasonable plan. I like where this is going. It's a step in the right direction. And I think, it's tough to disagree. I think a lot of people on the far right that you were just talking about, the alt-right, are trying to say this is a liberal idea, you know, this is an extremist view that Trump is putting forth. It's really not an extreme view. Recent polls have shown the majority of Republicans actually support this kind of immigration reform.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people on the far right are just the more vocal portion of the Republican Party, but they're not the majority of the Republican Party.
And Cabot, let's be honest, it's both the extremes on both sides of the party, the extreme left, the extreme right. You have them on both sides. Yeah. So how much of this is that whole Kellyanne Conway effect? You know, she took over about a week or so ago. She's been making the rounds in the media. Do you think that this is finally her telling Donald Trump, hey, look, there's a middle ground that some people want to see you, that this could work for you?
Well, I wish I had some inside sources on the Trump campaign telling me if this was her doing or if this was just Trump being Trump. But it's definitely an about-face as far as the way that Trump is manipulating the media. In the past, we've seen Hillary have a bad week, and then Trump make it even worse for himself by not letting the media dwell on her. So this week, she had a tough time with the Clinton Foundation, some new allegations there. And rather than saying something absolutely ridiculous and, you know, name-calling, Donald Trump actually put forth a policy, and people are all talking about it, and whether people agree with it or not, at least the Trump campaign now has the media talking about a policy proposition.
And let's point this out, too. Donald Trump is at least talking to the media. He hates the media. He's pointed that out. He's running against the media. Hillary Clinton has not held a press conference in 200 and some days.
264 days, you're correct.
There are legitimate questions out there. So to that end, I think she owes it to the American people to talk to the media a little more than what she's doing right now than these carefully scripted photo ops.
Absolutely. There was a painful video today of a reporter asking Hillary, you know, when are we going to get to talk to you? And her saying, oh, you know, everyone go have some chocolate here at this event. And just completely about face. But an interesting point to bring up.
Hey, Cabot, I hate to cut you off, man. We got to go.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
We'll see you soon.